Hello everyone, my name is Weiwei and welcome to my channel about UX design and personal growth. Today I want to talk about the topic of the town, GenAI. As UX designers, we're always looking for ways to improve our productivity, our workflow, and reduce the mundane work. So GenAI tool seems to be the perfect answer, right? I don't know about you. For me, I tried so many of them, and oftentimes I realized that the GenAI tools do not quite deliver what they promise, or the type of work they generate just doesn't meet the mark. But after a lot of trial and errors, I'm finally excited to share with you a few GenAI tools that are actually useful, and they can boost my productivity easily by over 30%. And the good thing is all of them are free. So let's take a look at them. The first tool is Creatie, and it's particularly useful in creating UI designs. So this is how Creatie looks like, and you will notice the interface is actually very similar to Figma, which I think it's a good thing, right? Because then a lot of the shortcuts and how you use it, it's exactly the same. So let's create a demo over here, and because we are starting with a completely blank canvas, I actually don't know what it's going to suggest. The simple way is you can just start drawing frames using their AI tool. The shortcut is W, and then it will start suggesting things. Of course, some of those may not make sense. You know, all the AI tools is still learning, but for instance, if I want to have the status bar, you know, or if I want to have tabs, that actually makes sense. So let's say we start with like a status bar on top, and you will notice that like all of their components has auto layout already as well. Okay, continue exploring. Let's see what the wizard suggests. Like you would suggest something based on the size of the frame that you have drawn. Maybe we can start with like a navigation bar, right? So if we want, we can, you know, just change the fill and everything here too. Okay, and let's say maybe the following should be more like a listing or something, because we're having like a search bar on top. So it has some of the card layout, and then it also start to have listing. So let's just say that we use this, right? All right, so over here, I think that it suggests the listing, and it also gives me some suggested copies. Usually, if you have put in your existing content, the copy it suggested will be aligned to that. But in this case, because we're doing completely blank page, so yeah, I just suggested some like random content. Okay, but for this, maybe we don't really need the filter. Okay, let me just copy it in here. Yeah, so like you can just like continue building, you know, this page, but actually in this case, because it's a listing, maybe the only thing I would do is like continue to create like more items over here. So yeah, you can use Creatie to quickly mock up a page, even like create pretty high fidelity design in a short period of time. The second tool I'm going to introduce is called synthetic users. And yeah, it's totally just using AI to create research participants. I usually use it for some pre-planning for the actual research work. Synthetic users provides a few different interview types, and the one I commonly use is the problem exploration interview. It's to understand the problem space. So in this case, let's focus on the bank relationship managers. That's the audience we're looking at. So they're responsible for nurturing strong client relationships while maintaining a large portfolio of accounts. So we would like to use this study to understand better the pain points and opportunities for the RMs when they interact with the digital tools to deliver services to their customers. And we also define the scope to be Singapore Bank Relationship Manager specifically. So the audience, let's just put it over here as well. Singapore Bank Relationship Manager. So it will proceed to generate synthetic users, and because we're not on a subscription plan, just a free plan, it will just generate two user profiles. Here we are with the two participants to the interview. As you can see, it's very much aligned to the target audience we've defined. So the first one is Wei-Ling, the second one is Rajesh. So it also defines a list of attributes over here, ranging from their career trajectory to their professional development interests and also technological adaptability. So you could also add additional attributes over here, but I think this looks pretty cool. So we're gonna run interviews. So the tool will just start preparing the interview script in the background. So it has finished running the interviews and we have both responses. What I like about the interview results is that it generates the script totally automatically and it provides the answers straight away. When you read through, you'll realize that it follows a logical flow and it does probe on questions we will definitely ask during user interviews, like can you share a recent instance where digital tool issue impacted your client meeting or interaction? Then how does it make you feel during your workday? So it does give us the context and cuts down a lot of the preparation time. And once I read through the interview, it gives me a good idea of what an RM's life is like and what their needs are, not as a laundry list of features, but as something that I can weave into the bigger picture. I really like using synthetic users for the preparation work before the actual user interview, because first it gives me a base for the interview guide, allows me to have sufficient background of the topic, and also allows me to identify potential interesting areas to probe further. Also, because I work in an agency, so I use it for pitch work. It allows me to come up with ideas I would otherwise not think of because, I didn't know the pain points. Of course, the tool is very controversial, so I would never substitute it for speaking to real users, and we also need to be very aware of the potential bias in the training data set. But, for the preparation work, it's 100% a productivity boost. So the third GenAI tools I'm gonna recommend is Perplexity AI. This is perfect for doing desk research, and I definitely prefer this over ChatGPT because it gives me the sources. So let's just take a quick look at the space. Let's just say that I am doing some competitive research for mental wellness apps, and just ask Perplexity AI this, and as you can see, the answers are being generated straight away, so it gives you the most popular kind of list of apps and also highlighting the overview and the key features. So you can continue prompting the follow-up questions, look at the related questions like, how does Talkspace compare to other therapy apps in terms of effectiveness? Okay, so that's interesting, so I will dig deeper into it a little bit better. But what really differentiated from ChatGPT is that it has the sources over here. So you can see this is from CNET, this is from Healthline, and you can even just go and browse the full sources. The paid version of ChatGPT, based on my understanding, does offer this, but not the free version. But Perplexity AI allows me to verify the sources even in a non-paid version, and that's my favorite feature of this app, because GenAI tools could hallucinate, but when we're doing desk research, we must make sure that it comes from very credible sources and they're pristine. So have the ability to trace the sources is actually very important for UX designers. But those are the 3 GenAI tools I'm actively incorporating into my day-to-day work. If you find it helpful, like and subscribe to the channel, or if you have other great GenAI tools that you'd recommend, please leave in the comments. And I'll see you next time.